When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
In Walmart's Nouville, time was ticking away. Only a few nights left till the big holiday. But last-minute gifters had no need to worry. Walmart Express Delivery got their gifts in a hurry. From Nintendo to Nespresso and Lego flowers, they could check off their lists in as fast as an hour. All of Nouville, East, West, South, and North, could order gifts up until 5 p.m. on December 24th. So this holiday, just do as the Who's do. With gift delivery this fast, they all gasped. From Walmart? Who knew? Subject to availability, terms and fees apply.
In 2005, two brothers hit the road in search of their father and wound up fighting demons, angels, monsters, and fate itself.
Over the next 15 years, Supernatural became more than just a TV show. It became a family with one of the most passionate fan bases in the world.
I'm Rob Benedict. I played Chuck Shirley. You might also know me as God.
And I'm Richard Spade Jr. I played Loki, the Trickster, and Gabriel. And I also directed more than a few episodes.
Now, we spent years making this show, but we never actually sat down to watch every single episode in order until now.
And that means that each week, we're watching Supernatural from the beginning. Now diving into Season 8, the year of purgatory, prophets, and the pursuit to close the gates of hell. And we'll be joined by cast, writers, directors, and the crew who help bring each episode to life.
You'll hear behind-the-scenes stories, our honest reactions, and maybe learn a little about how television gets made along the way.
Now, I'm warning you, there are gonna be spoilers. And remember, this is our first time truly watching the series, so if we miss a detail or don't remember what happens 3 seasons from now, well, that's part of the fun.
So join us as we keep the engine running, hit the open road, and fall even deeper in love with Supernatural. Hi, my name is Rob Benedict.
And I'm Richard Spade. Damn right I am.
And I already have an issue because it's season 8, episode 8, and it's called Hunteri Heroici.
I'm so glad that I didn't have to intro this one.
I didn't know when I was watching the episode. I was like, I don't know how to say that. And here I am on the podcast.
Usually the titles are some clever song reference or a deep cut. Not this time.
No, we're going to have to, well, maybe we'll find out in fun facts. But Hunteri Heroici.
Heroici? I don't know, dude. Your guess is as good as mine.
Okay. Heroic hunter?
But season 8, episode 8, that makes it its golden birthday.
Well, you know, folks, as we wrap up 2025, the 20th anniversary of Supernatural, it was great to see so many people doing cool things to celebrate it.
Name your favorite 5 things you saw people doing to celebrate it, Rob.
The collaboration between the podcast Denim Wrap Nightmares and In Defense of Fandom. Rich?
That's right. It's 2 podcasts came together to form one powerhouse podcast to do a 10-episode collaboration celebrating the music of Supernatural. And it features interviews with Rob Benedict, Jason Manns, plus the heavy hitters of the show, Rob, the guys who've done the score.
The actual
Supernatural.
The actual
Christopher
talent.
Leonards, Jay Gruska, and of course, American sweetheart Billy Moran, and Mark Shepard, me, you know.
All right, those haven't been, Mark and you haven't been done yet, but they're going to be.
Well, by the time people hear this, they will have been recorded.
Oh, you're really actually doing it. You understand? Like, yeah. Oh,
no.
Wow. Well, you heard it here first, folks. They got Rich and Mark.
I actually don't think they'll have heard it here first.
No.
But whatever. Point being, there's a celebration of the music of Supernatural.
Yes.
Supernatural has so much music in it.
Yeah.
And it's such great, like just rock and roll songs. And the score is like something out of a feature film. And that's Leonards and Gruska. And then, of course, all the musicians who are associated with the show, like Rob Benedict and his band Loud and Swain. And there's so much of that surrounds the show that it's great to celebrate it.
It was cool. It's kind of like an actors on actors thing Jason and I did, where we kind of interviewed each other. And that was kind of fun.
So check it out. Check out the podcast, 10-episode collaboration between...
Was Mark Shepard on your tour just now that you did?
Denim Wrap Nightmare and Defense of Fandom. No, he was not. It was Billy Moran, Jason Manns, and myself.
Fantastic. Well, the thing we're talking about, it's called Supernatural Music Extravaganza, a mixtape 20 years in the making. Check it out on the podcast channels of either Denim Rap Nightmares or In Defense of Fandom. Why are those two things so hard to say together?
Well, listen, why don't you talk about the show? Maybe that'll help us get us in a flow state, you know?
Okay. Well, while refueling the Impala, Sam gets a call from Linda Tran, who says she and Kevin are hiding on Garth's houseboat.
Well, that's what we think she says. They didn't feel like paying Lauren Tom prices.
Yeah, or Garth.
Or DJ Qualls prices.
Yeah. Kevin is struggling to translate the remaining half of the demon tablet. And of course, we
are led to believe.
Yeah, we can't afford Osric for this one either.
Other shop prices.
Dean asks
sky high.
Dean asks Castiel, who's there. We get Misha, if there's any angel chatter, but Castiel says he's cut himself off from heaven and wants to be a hunter. He's even found a case in Oklahoma City involving a man whose heart burst out of his chest.
Right, and which we saw in the teaser.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the teaser that the guy, he has like a cartoonish heart explosion.
Right, and at first I was like,
heart-shaped thing.
The effects on this one seemed a bit, and then I realized they're doing a cartoon thing.
Yeah, they were kind of cartoony. I didn't realize, I get it.
Well, Dean agrees to investigate, provided Castiel sticks with them and doesn't teleport. Castiel asks to ride in the front seat of the Impala and is promptly denied.
I'm not sure why I get that demand. Like, why would you not want him to teleport?
He probably just doesn't want to lose him. Castiel's always getting all, flighty and squirrely.
I guess. I feel like you'd want all the room in the car. Like, why another body in there? You want to get in the back seat and stretch out? You can't. There's Castiel.
There's a lot of time with just your brother. You know what I mean? You kind of want like someone else in there to spice it up.
I don't know. You love Matt Benedict. You'd love to go on a road trip with Matt Benedict. It'd be a delight.
Yeah, but we'd like to have, we had a third. We had a third growing up. We always had my friend Trevor, and sometimes it's fun having a third to bounce off of. And
Trevor was your Castiel?
Yeah, he's my Castiel, yeah. And in Oklahoma City, they examined the body of Gary Frelling, who has a cartoonishly perfect heart-shaped hole in his chest. Detective Glass,
Adam Glass,
Adam nod, believes drugs are involved, but Castiel confirms there are none in Gary's system. Sam suspects Gary was having an affair with his friend Olivia Koppel and theorizes that Gary's wife, Deb, might be a witch seeking revenge.
A good thought process, you know what I mean? And by the way, Castiel really has a nose for this whole thing. Get it? Nose? He smells the body. Thank you.
When they question Deb, Castiel interrogates her too aggressively, and Sam smooths things over. I thought Misha's really funny in this episode. Castiel has some funny stuff.
Oh, sure.
Olivia arrives distraught and is revealed that Deb knew about the affair. The three had an arrangement.
Yeah, a little, how's your father swap-a-rooney going?
Yeah, that was kind of all about that, wasn't it?
I know, you were bummed.
I thought it was, great. This whole thing's going to be about open.
Robbie's like, threesomes.
No.
Okay, now we have a conversation.
Soon after, another bizarre death occurs when a man floats in midair before falling to his death like a cartoon character who doesn't fall until he looks down. Now, again, there's a whole story here where this guy was committing suicide.
Yeah, we didn't care about that, apparently.
We don't care really about these people's stories. It's just that the way that they're dying or the way that things are going down.
Right.
The brothers realize the deaths resemble cartoon physics. That's what it is, cartoon physics. Castiel, confused, takes this literally and studies cartoons to understand them. While researching, they hear about a looney bank robbery involving black holes painted on walls. At the bank, a guard has been crushed by a 1-ton anvil. The robber used cartoon-style portals. Dean noticed a black X on the floor, confirming cartoon rules are in play. Back at the motel, Castiel reads John Winchester's journal, while Dean asks how he's coping after purgatory. Castiel insists he's fine, but refuses to return to heaven, fearing what he's done there might drive him to do something he would regret. Now, okay, Castiel's whole deal with heaven right now, they said he's not going to remember everything, right? Anything. So Castiel's going to heaven, having these meetings with heaven.
Right.
But he doesn't remember any of it.
Correct. That's the bit.
Okay.
By the way, real quickly, flashbacks were exceptionally oddly placed.
They're very flashbackian. Wait.
I texted Rob, bladder infection?
Yeah.
Because at one point he's like, yeah, don't forget that bladder infection. It cut to Sam just going, yeah. She had a bladder infection once.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, they're unpacking boxes. I am completely flummoxed.
How is that not in our synopsis? I think he kept it out so we wouldn't talk about it.
He didn't want to talk about bladder infections. Well, we're talking about it.
They were all over this episode.
It was so weird.
One time he just sat in baby and sat in baby and the door closed, and that reminds me, her dad visited one time.
Dude, how about bladder infection though? You're skipping, like, I literally paused it and rewound it. I'm like, what? Bladder infection sent you down memory lane?
Yeah. The bladder infection did it, and And then sitting in the car, I think one time another door closed.
It is just so weird.
The times that Sam chooses to remember the past are very awkward.
What's crazy, too, is this actress is in a gazillion episodes.
And I'd never heard of her. Yeah. And then the dad visits. Do you know that guy?
I don't.
He didn't seem old enough to be her dad, first of all.
No. It's weirdly funny. I thought he was coming in to play the brother, for real. Like, I thought, oh,
yeah,
must be her brother or something.
And I guess the whole bit, and her dad is kind of a jerk to poor Sam. And then at the end, they find out her husband's still alive. I need more than that.
Yeah.
All these flashbacks, it's not enough. That's not enough.
I mean, that reveal.
Yeah. All right. Well, back in reality, Sam recognizes a photo of Fred Jones, a powerful psychokinetic.
I noticed Fred Jones as well. You know why?
Because he was in MASH.
I love MASH.
BJ Honeycutt.
Still the biggest season finale in the history of TV.
This is someone that meant a lot to Rich and I growing up watching reruns of MASH.
MASH was such a good show.
It was a family favorite in my house.
Oh, family favorite in everybody's house.
Anyway, he plays Fred Jones, a powerful psychokinetic who once knew John Winchester. Fred is now catatonic, watching cartoons nonstop. Dean confirms Fred's powers by slamming a book into his own head, producing cartoon sound effects. Fred's subconscious has reshaped reality, but he's lost control. Castiel bluntly suggests killing him, but they're thrown out by Dr. Mahoney, the facility's director.
Dr. Mahoney, who's full of baloney. You know, I don't blame the doctor for throwing him out for somebody threatening to kill your patient.
True. No, that was good. No one's going to argue that. Castiel stays invisible to keep watch. Oh, I didn't know he was invisible.
I didn't either.
All right. Chaos erupts when a birthday cake candle explodes. Fred disappears. The hunters discover an orderly wearing a stolen bracelet and trace it to her boyfriend, another orderly.
But real quickly, nobody dies in the cake explosion, right? Because we saw that splatter, and I thought it was the blood of old people. But then you come back, and all the old people were sitting there.
Oh, it was the cake.
And I guess it's just the cake explodes.
Oh, I get it. It was kind of a bit. Because they've been doing a lot of exploding. Does that carry on through season 15? Someone exploding, blood spurting on a wall or on a face or on something? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think that.
Every cold open these days.
Oh, yeah.
It's like someone gets splattered with blood.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
In my book, they're overdoing it. They need to pull back on that a little bit. Anyway, breaking into his house, they find stolen valuables and the man dying from a gunshot wound. Castiel heals him, and the orderly reveals Mahoney has been exploiting Fred's powers to rob banks.
Wait, Dr. Mahoney, who's full of baloney?
Yeah. Turns out you were right. He's exploiting Fred's powers to rob banks and skim money from residents. When things went wrong, Mahoney decided to kill Fred. He's now headed to the bank for one last job.
Wait, he killed Fred?
He wants to kill Fred, I guess.
Okay.
He's going to kill Fred. At the bank, Dean confronts Mahoney.
That would have been a good time for a flashback. And I'm sure at some point Sam met a guy named Fred.
I think that they do. I think Fred reminds me of the time her dad visited.
We slept in a bed that rhymes with Fred.
I'll have the roast beef. Roast beef. That reminds me of her dad. Oh, man. It makes no sense. At the bank, Dean confronts Mahoney amid full cartoon physics. Guns fire, bang.
Guns go bang.
Yeah, the flag comes out.
Yeah.
With bang flags. Gravity pauses midair and anvils fall. Meanwhile, Sam and Castiel find Fred hiding in a van. Castiel enters Fred's mind, a cartoon landscape where Fred has been trapped for 16 years. And finally, Mike Farrell has a line. I was pleased Mike Farrell had something to do.
Yeah.
Sam convinces him that hiding in fantasy won't save him forever and urges him to take control. Fred awakens and stops Mahoney, forcing him to kill himself.
Yeah. He gets violent real fast.
Yeah, man. I was like, well, surely he won't. Nope, he did. Shot himself in the face. Fred agrees to let Castiel strip him of his powers to prevent further harm, even if it damages him mentally. He returns to a catatonic state at Sunset Fields.
Listening to Ode to Joy.
Yeah, listening to Ode to Joy, yeah.
But here's a quick question before you skip past this.
I'm almost there.
I know, but Robert.
Yeah.
Why was he in a van?
When was he in a van?
You said they found Fred in a van.
Did I?
Yeah. He says, meanwhile, Sam and Castiel find Fred hiding in a van.
I don't know.
Had the doctor stolen Fred so he would be near the bank so the cartoon stuff would work? Maybe that's it.
Oh, that's
Fred
it.
had to be near.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense. Well, after all that, he's back in his catatonic state. Dean thanks Castiel and offers him the front seat at last. But Castiel declines. He's summoned to heaven by Naomi, who reveals she can control him and read his mind.
It's Amanda Tapping.
Yeah.
Showing up.
And
again.
So basically there's a plan there, but we don't know what that is. Back on Earth, Castiel tells Sam and Dean he'll stay behind to watch over Fred, admitting he can't keep running anymore. But he doesn't remember heaven, right?
No, he can't remember. When he gets zapped in and out, he can't remember.
That's what I don't understand. It feels like he does. All right. Well, as Sam leaves, he remembers the night, the night Amelia learned her husband was alive. The brothers drive on together while Castiel remains behind, caught between heaven and humanity.
Let me tell you something. I don't care if JC's dating somebody else, or if Ruth's dating somebody else, or Ruth's dating me, or Ruth's dating Steve Hine, or if Ruth's dating me and Steve Hine.
Or JC and you have an open relationship like the couple in this episode.
With Steve Hine.
And I'm the third, just like in this episode. Yeah.
Right. We're all, and then Hine. If you guys find out that you thought I was dead, or we thought Rob was dead, or we thought Hine was dead, but you're not dead, and our reaction is what I saw on this TV show, find me and kill me. It's the least reaction of all time to find out the guy you think died in the war is alive. You're like, Bob's alive. It's just a weird, it's just a weird structure. I'm not even blaming the actress. It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's just set up weird.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
It's been a slow burn.
Burn is a tough word there. I'm not a slow, slightly lukewarm.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. That one's tough.
Anyway.
Watching this, well, let's get on, let the people know what's coming next.
R, Rob and Rich. Ratings.
So here's what's going on. I feel like in the last few episodes, we've been a little bit sour on what we're seeing.
We don't love the flashbacks. I'm going to tell you right now, we don't love them, and we still don't.
And I feel like Steve kept it out of the synopsis because he knew we were going to.
He did.
Yeah.
It was subterfuge.
Yeah.
Steve wanted us to lie to the people. I won't do that,
Well,
Steve.
It makes me wonder,
that.
Who are you working for, Steve?
Yeah, maybe Steve wrote the flashbacks.
Talking about a van. There's a guy in a van outside going, keep him talking, keep him talking.
Well, I know what my vote is. I've got my facial hair ranking ready to go. You just tell me when, Robert.
Well, I was going to say, just, I'd like to talk about it a little bit.
It's just it's such a, I enjoyed the fact that he did some cartoon stuff. That was kind of clever. And I actually did think it was funny when Dean tries to shoot him and he goes, bang.
Bang. I thought that, honestly, I missed who wrote it. And I thought maybe it was a...
Ben Edlund or something?
Yeah, it was a Ben Edlund episode.
It's Andrew Dabb.
And it's Andrew Dabb, yeah. So, yeah, the cartoon stuff was funny.
And I'll also tell you that I did not know. I always thought that Scooby Natural was the first cartoon episode of the show.
Totally.
So... that was news to me.
That was news to me to see them working with cartoons.
Very Roger Rabbit.
I thought that Castiel was funny. I thought Misha was really funny in this episode. There was some good Castiel fish out of water stuff.
Yeah, interrogating the cat was funny.
Yeah, right.
But it's also very much going for a comedy throughout. It wasn't like there was any real drama.
Yeah, and in doing that, it kind of lost some of the oomph. Like I'm saying, this guy's about to commit suicide. That could have been something different. It could have been... I don't know.
Right.
Something different where, someone goes off a cliff and they go, I don't know. I thought that was
it survives. Yeah.
Unnecessarily dark. And anyway, yeah, I was thrown.
And the gal who brought over the casserole, who was part of the threesome, also very emotionally put together for a woman who had guts splattered all over her face.
Oh, yeah.
Earlier that day or the day before.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. You go first then, since you're ready to go.
I am giving this episode, and I think it's pretty obvious what I'm going to give this episode, but you know what? It's facial hair, and this episode deserves it. I'm giving this episode Mike Farrell's mustache as BJ Honeycutt. I'm giving it the BJ Honeycutt mustache.
From MASH.
From MASH.
From MASH, which is a show that was on the air from the late 70s to the early 80s.
11 years.
And it was on reruns and still is. And it really is a fantastic show.
And Mike Farrell's great in it.
He replaced a character everyone loved, and he made himself just as lovable.
Wayne Rogers playing Trapper John. He replaced him.
And then some of you might know that in the later 80s, there was a show called Trapper John MD about that same character grown up.
Correct. But the original Trapper John was not Wayne Rogers. It was Elliot Gould in the movie MASH.
That's right.
This is a TV series that was based on a movie.
Well, if you're going to go with that, then I'm going to give it the hot lips. I'm going to give it... I'm going to give it hot lips.
You're giving it to Loretta Swit?
Yeah, I'm going to give it to Loretta Swit. No beard.
That's no beard whatsoever. Oh, man. The hot lips little hand.
But hey, it's hot lips. It's funny. I thought there were some funny bits in it, but I'm not going to give it.
There ain't no facial hair on that Loretta Swit.
No.
The reviews are in.
But it was a MASH homage. But no, it's not. It wasn't my favorite.
It literally was a mashup.
But I'm really finding good things in it. I think Castiel gets MVP, and
You know what I thought was good? I thought the boyfriend, he only had one scene, but I thought he did a nice job.
He was good. He was good.
And I thought that the dad's trying, and so is the girlfriend. It's just an unfortunate storyline.
And let me tell you something. I sometimes will, because it's so easy to just go right to the next episode. You know, you can like skip the intro, just go right to the next episode. So I did that. And the first shot of the next episode is fantastic. And just you'll know what I'm talking about. I don't even know who directed it yet, but it's somebody good.
Oh, and this was a new director, wasn't it?
Yeah,
wasn't anybody,
someone I
didn't recognize.
But it's a name I recognize and not Paul A. Edwards. God, I know that. Well, Paul Edwards was the name of a professor of mine in college. But anyway, but yeah, the next episode, just wait. I'm excited. All right. Well, hey, let's get on to the, it's you know, we don't love every episode, but it doesn't mean that we're not having a great time.
No, but I tell you what, we love Loretta Swit.
We love Loretta Swit. And we also love this next person, Mark Meloche.
I'm Mike Meloche. Yeah, of course.
Mark Meloche worked in the visual effects department of Supernatural for all 15 seasons.
Yes, sir, he did.
We're so excited to have Mark back on the podcast. It'll be great to check in with him and see what's going on in Meloche world. And so here is our interview with Mark Meloche.
How is everybody?
Good.
Good to see everybody.
Yeah, good to see you too, Mark. This is a good episode to talk to you about because the effects are very heavy in this episode.
Yeah, it was an interesting diversion from what we normally have to do. I don't think we cut off one head in this episode, which was exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Rich was saying, and I agree, that I thought Scooby Natural was the first time that they interacted with cartoons, but really it's in this episode.
Yeah, it is. Actually, when I was discussing about this episode, that's actually the one that I thought that we were going to be discussing. I'd totally forgotten about Heroici.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wait, how do you say it?
Hunteri Heroici, I believe.
Oh, that's better than we were doing.
Yeah, dude, we have no idea.
My guess. I'm going by the cartoons I saw when I was 5, so.
Oh, that's what it is.
Do you know what that means?
It's the Latin version.
On Bugs Bunny?
The Roadrunner. It's the Roadrunner.
Exactly.
And it would stop, just like they did on this episode.
Yeah.
Like Dean Winchester, Hunter Heroici.
Oh.
Yeah. Well done.
Well, they did that even in this episode. I forgot.
They did,
Dean freezes at one point.
Exactly.
Yeah, they do.
So how did you cutting to the chase? How did you do the big scene where they're really in a cartoon with Mike Farrell, where they're all three in a different? Is that all green screen?
That is all green screen. Interesting story here. That I don't know how many of the fans noticed that throughout the episode they're talking Bugs Bunny, they're talking Roadrunner, they're talking all the Warner Brothers cartoons. But if you notice in that scene, we're actually back to Woody Woodpecker.
Oh.
So because they couldn't get the rights from Warner Brothers to use the Bugs Bunny cartoons, because, so I hear, they didn't want that kind of license associated with the violence on the show.
Wow.
Yeah. So although it's a Warner Brothers show, they couldn't use Bugs Bunny.
But Woody Woodpecker, they're like, yeah.
Woody Woodpecker, they're fine.
Huh.
You know?
Wow.
So yeah, so that entire thing was shot on green screen with tracking markers. We tried to not keep it static throughout. So we had camera moves in there, which were all tracked, and it was a lot of fun. There was a ton of cleanup that was also included with that because we didn't have HD masters to go by when we were using those items. So there was a fair amount of work in the background with the artist having to clean up and do matte paintings for that character, which was Frodo'd, and then having to have him run down the road, disappear over the hill, and then off into the distance.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's big. That's a big effect, especially that now you see it a lot more. But back then, the resources, you didn't have the kind of resources we have today.
Well, no, exactly. Back in my day, we didn't have a lot of the tools that are available now as well, including AI. It's a contentious matter with visual effects at the moment.
Sure.
But we didn't have any of those tools. So there's a lot of hands-on work in order to bring that to life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting because obviously you had to turn in a budget for this episode like you do for everyone. Did they know going into this that this was going to be that bill was going to be hefty, I assume, more so than usual?
Well, I'd like to say that, yes, whenever they handed us a shot or an instance where we had to jump in, that they would know what the budget was, but that wasn't always the case. I mean, we would go into this, the budgets are all preliminary, so you're kind of guessing as you go along as to what the approach is going to be, what the plates are going to be.
Right.
So it's all hypothetical up until it actually ends up in your lab.
Right.
So there was a little bit more work than what we anticipated for that, but it was within the realm. It certainly wasn't the most challenging show that we had ever done.
It wasn't or was?
Wasn't, no.
Okay.
There weren't that many shots in that show. The ones that were there were fairly easy to put together. However, the preliminary work that we had to do, there was a lot more work than what was anticipated. And again, all within our wheelhouse. There was nothing too over the top.
Yeah, I was thinking that when Andrew Dabb wrote this episode, I was thinking like, just writing it out, it feels like a big ask. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't know, just a person walks off the edge of a building or,
I think that whenever we would approach any of the shows, there were times when it seemed, particularly in the concept meetings, where the notions are grandiose. It can be a little daunting. There's an anxiety factor that goes with it. Say, yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, we could do that. And then leaving the meeting and pretty well just shitting my pants because I don't know. It's like, ooh, I wonder how we're going to be able to attempt this.
Yeah.
So in this case, it really was within our wheelhouse. A little bit more work, like I said, but it certainly was accomplishable.
Right. Well, and also because you're dealing with a fantasy, you know what I mean? It's like, as opposed to like, we need to believe this guy has his head cut off, say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be realistic. Whereas this.
Right. Different level of expectation from the viewer, I suppose.
Right.
Absolutely. It's interesting because we were always going for photo real. Typically on our first go around, whatever we did, we would go as realistic as we could. And then when we were running into BSMP broadcast standards and practices, they would tell us to tone it down a little bit. So it was interesting because the approach for the show was we had to keep it within the realm of realism, but also there had to be a cartoon aspect that was associated with everything that was happening. And that was a hard kind of pill to swallow, particularly when our gentleman is stepping off the building.
Yeah.
Right. To unalive himself. There's a motion where he's standing and he's floating. That shot still kind of sticks in my craw, I gotta say, because we're doing we're doing what we needed to do as far as the physics go. He steps off, he's just floating. It looks like he's standing on a floor, he's looking around. And then the actual fall, normally there would be more of an interaction with the actor. The physics would be slightly different. There's a ramp up. We're dealing with curves here. So it would be, you don't hit terminal velocity just like that.
Right.
Whereas in this, in order to add that cartoon element, we had to have, like, he just falls. There's no acceleration. There's no physics involved. He just falls. And that is so counterintuitive to the, 20 years that I had been working to get to that point.
Yeah.
So there are creative licenses that you have to take that, although I look at it and I say, yeah, okay, we accomplished our job, it's still not one of my favorite shots, I have to say.
Well, it's, even the heart coming out at the beginning of the guy's chest, I didn't know what was going on yet. So I thought, oh, that effect looks cartoonish, and that was the point.
Yes, exactly. That was a fun shot. It was shot outside. It was shot in a park not far from the studio. And that was one of those instances when there's a bunch of people standing around and it's, he's feigning, they're hearing sounds that aren't there, or he's reacting to something that's not happening. So everybody stands around and kind of looks at us like, oh, I wonder what they're going to do. In fact, at that point, I'm kind of even thinking, I wonder what
am I going to do?
How are we going to do this?
No one's going to be more surprised than Mark.
Well, exactly. And it was one of those moments where they had to, with his girlfriend who is standing there talking with him when his heart is about to explode out of his chest. It's one of those instances when when the crew stands around and just wants to see what's going to happen because they're going to blast this actress with
blood,
cherry pie filling.
Right.
And It's not something that we see every day, and it's just kind of the absurdity of seeing someone blasted like that. It's supposed to be this awful, awful moment, and it is. I mean, it was pretty chunky.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Randy and his crew went together, and they made sure that it wasn't just blood. I mean, it was pretty chunky.
Yeah.
So the poor actor was standing there, and when she reacts to this, she starts to scream, and it's a pretty intense, like over the top, kind of like she's really going to town.
Yeah. I noticed that.
The director, Paul Edwards, at the time, like, no one called cut. So she was standing there covered in this cherry stuff and just going to town, just like screaming her head off, to the point that the crew started to laugh and she started to laugh. And it was just one of those absurd moments when everybody's like, okay, you know what? That was fun.
Oh, that's funny.
Considering what it's supposed to be, it was fun.
Oh, that's really funny. Hey, I hope you're enjoying the episode. But we need to pull over because I got a tinkle.
It's Richard Spate saying ho, ho, ho. Why? Check the calendar. It's almost holiday time. Now, don't panic. You don't have to let Big Wireless and your overpriced phone bill suck the joy out of the holidays this year. Because right now, all of Mint Mobile's unlimited plans are 50% off. I'm no mathematician, but that's half. You can get 3, 6, or 12 months of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. In LA, that's a coffee and a scone. It's their best deal of the year, and it makes it real easy for you to give your expensive wireless bill the Scrooge treatment. Hey, overpriced wireless, Scrooge you! And 'tis the season to switch to Mint Mobile because Mint Mobile's best deal of the year is happening right now. Also, all of Mint's plans come with high-speed data, or data if you're one of those people, and unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network. What's up, G? You can bring your current phone with you, the one you have in your hand right now, and your current phone number. Bring them on over to Mint. Why get rid of things that are working just great, right? There's no contracts, and there's no nonsense. I got to tell you something. There's a reason why Mint Mobile is used in the Spade House. Because it works. And it doesn't cost an arm and a leg. I don't like to pay for things I don't need. Do you like paying for things you don't need? I didn't think so. I want the thing that does exactly what I want it to do without breaking the bank. And that's Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile gets unbelievable coverage. The calls are clear. They connect like they're supposed to. The data is fantastic. There is no need to pay more. I get the data. I get the connection. I get the unlimited talk and text. Anything else is just fluff. I don't pay for fluff. No thanks. So do yourself a holiday solid and turn your expensive wireless present into a huge wireless savings future by switching to Mint. Shop Mint Unlimited plans at mintmobile.com/supernatural. That's mintmobile.com/supernatural. Limited time offer. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12 months. Plan required. $15 a month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 35 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com.
Hey everybody, it's Rob. Cold mornings. Holiday plans. This is when I need my wardrobe to just work. That's why I'm all about Quince. You've heard me talk about it before. I really dig this place. I recently got a pair of pants, slacks, that can fit any occasion. You can wear them with tennis shoes. You can wear them with nice shoes. You wear them with no shoes. These pants don't care. They just look good. Quince has clothes that make you feel sharp, feel good. And best of all, you can find gifts there for all your friends and all your family for this holiday season. From Mongolian cashmere sweaters to Italian wool coats, Quince pieces are crafted from premium materials and built to hold up without the luxury markup. You know, Quince makes essential items that every guy needs. The Mongolian sweaters I was talking about, they're just $50. They've also got Italian wool coats that look and feel designer, but they're cheap. They're not designer prices. And they got denim, they got chinos that fit just right. And you want to talk about outerwear? I mean, are we talking outerwear? I mean, it's no joke. They got down jackets, wool top coats, leather styles. Did you hear me say wool top coats? They've got all that, and they're all built to last because they're made from premium materials by trusted factories that meet rigorous standards for craftsmanship and ethical production, which is the part I really, really like. So by cutting out the middleman and the traditional markups, Quince delivers the same quality as luxury brands at a fraction of the price. I mean, this is my favorite time of year because it starts to cool down. Even here in Los Angeles, it cools down. And you need jackets, you need coats, and finding the right winter coat is just easy with Quince because they have so many options and the prices actually make sense. It's affordable, but also luxury, so you can't go wrong. These pants I just bought, these slacks, they're really cozy too, so they're keeping my legs warm, which is important. Quince has gifting covered like no one else, and it's beyond just clothing. I got this bag from Quince. It's fantastic. They've got stuff for home, bath, kitchen, or travel. Great travel stuff, which I also have lots of because, we travel all the time. So Quince has got you covered. Get your wardrobe sorted and your gift list handled with Quince. Don't wait. Go to quince.com/STN for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada, too. That's QUINCE.com/STN. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/STN. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. And now back to the episode.
So you mentioned the director. You kind of half mentioned that you didn't necessarily have a visual effects count here because you guys usually didn't because you were in-house. But this being so, I know you said it wasn't the most challenging, but it seems to be a lot of real estate. Was there a concern about how many times you can cut back and forth in the cartoon space? How many cartoon gags can you have? Was that preordained before production, or was it another classic case of we'll just do it and figure it out?
Total classic. However, that part of my job too is to try and come up with contingency plans that allow for us to go back and forth. Editing is so important in the show. It really is. It can tie a sequence together. It can slow down a sequence. It can speed up a sequence, the whole bit. So the way that entire kind of sequence was constructed was to allow for as much flexibility as possible when it came to the editing portion and the visual effects portion. So the camera's kind of moving around and meandering in the everyone shots. We had our matte paintings that were done to match the shots that we were having, but they were panoramas that we could slide back and forth. They give us as much flexibility as possible. So those are the kind of things that, again, is hypothetical up until the moment, but that was all pretty well in check because we had pre-planned ahead of time, or just in case it became a bigger sequence than what it was planned to be in the original concept meetings.
And how much in season 8, did the budget stay the same for your department, or did they kind of come down as the years? Like, how much was budget a concern?
I won't mention the budget, but the budget, as far as what it was, it pretty well stayed the same over the course of the run of the show.
Oh, that's good.
The initial, our group, there were 9 artists, and then there were 3 admin, including myself, producer, and our tech guy. And as far as like bringing everything together, the budget pretty well stayed the same. Now, the difference was when we started the show, I think that we were doing about 350 shots, 400 shots per season that we were doing. It was enough that we could get through. By the end of the run of 15 seasons, we were doing 1,700 shots a season, but that was with the same number of crew members in the same amount of time.
Right.
So
wow,
the way that we had to structure the pipeline was a little bit different. It was also important to bring in the right people because we didn't have the flexibility of swapping out artists that I had experienced in other production houses, that if things were slowing down with a particular artist, you could swap things out or give them more or less take on what they had to do in that shot. We really didn't have that kind of flexibility here. So it was important for the artists to really be tuned in on what they needed to do. And I was thankful because over the course of that, our crew knocked it out of the park. I honestly think that I worked with some of the best artists in the city, to which I think we went through over the course of 15 seasons. I think there were about 50 artists that cycled through. That was some not continuing on to the next season. There were other ones that left at the end of the season and partway through the season to go on to the other productions. Marvel was a big thing at that time. Star Wars was a big thing at that time. And that's what all the youngins were jonesing for, was to get onto those productions, not some little television show. But these were fantastic artists. So that was the only thing. Obviously, over the course of 15 seasons, you have to pay people what the industry is paying. So we always leveled up. And that was a good thing about management there, too, is they always met what we needed in order to keep our artists pay-wise. So we were always matching that. But budget, that was the only impact really on budget. Our equipment and everything, we had our pattern that we had to keep within. But even then, that was a little bit flexible because production knew that on occasion, they were going over the top. At one point, you want 8 hellhounds running after a particular character. Well, that's great if I had 2 years to be able to dump into, for one artist to be able to go through and actually animate all of those characters.
Yeah.
So there were a few battles along the way in order. You're going to have to pare this back unless we could have outsourced. That was an option as well, because we could have sent those shots to another house.
Right.
But that would have impacted budget quite a bit. Yeah. So they were willing to pare back where they needed. Yeah. So budget was what it was, and we always tried to stay within there. Right. And there were some times when there were shots that I really wanted to go to town, like, oh, this is going to be a good one, but we just couldn't because the money wasn't there.
Right.
Right.
You did a great job of sort of balancing what needed to be done within the constraints that you had. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
You know what? It was Grant Lindsay, my producer at that time as well. We worked together very closely in order to try and pare things back. Christopher Richardson, who was my lead artist, it was a collaboration throughout, all of us across the board. It was such a tight-knit group that it was really unlike anything. And I think that goes for the production in general, even for you guys too. It was a production that, when they always talked about family, as far as Supernatural being family, I've never experienced anything like that in my career. I really feel like there was such a collaborative approach to everything, and everybody was kind of on the same page. Everybody just wanted to get a good show out, and it was an absolute fantastic experience.
Yeah.
I really do. I still miss it. I do.
Yeah, we all do. It was definitely lightning in a bottle, that show. But it was a long lightning, 15 seasons. You're so lucky.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I have nothing but gratitude for the fact that it went on for that long. Yeah. And the fans were just incredible.
Unreal.
It's the closest thing to celebrity I'm ever going to know. Being able to step off a bus on location and someone going, "Hey, Mark." All I would do is wave. It's like they know me somehow.
That's
and,
amazing.
Those were the rabid fans. They were fantastic.
Was there a different style to, I know you're going into this animated thing, and this may be a dumb question, but when you're using software to do what you do, is there a different software to do a cartoony? Because you're not going photorealism now, so you're doing something different. Is it a different approach? Technically?
Well, technically, yes. It really is kind of the same software that we're using. At that time, I think we were still on After Effects. And being able to go through, there's just a lot more hands-on work when you're using those kind of programs and having to isolate elements out of a cartoon. In the real world, like when we were working, the Scooby-Doo episode is a great example. We actually ended up getting the files from the actual animation house.
Okay.
And they work in layers. So, and it's also all digital, not like the originals were shot with film. That's not the way it was done anymore. So we were actually able to get the separate layers back from that episode in order to be able to do our composites and be able to do, like, the opening is our opening with the bats and all of that stuff. So that made it easy to be able to go through. This was different. There was a lot of Photoshop work and a lot of roto work. But as far as the actual software goes, it was pretty well the same software that we stuck with throughout the pipeline.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, and in this episode, there are a lot of effects and big assignment for you. Was there one that took longer to crack than others, where you had to experiment a little bit? Like, say, that scene where they're with Mike Farrell and they're in that landscape. Was that?
Yes. I think that was one of the most challenging sequences that we had to work on, was because you're going into the completely subjective. So there is no, at the beginning, it's like, oh, he's in this ethereal world. We're in his own mind.
Yeah.
How are we going to represent that?
Yeah.
In a concept meeting, it's hard to come up with that because you're bouncing ideas off everybody. So to come up with something that distinct in that moment, it doesn't really happen. So that's something that has to be worked out creatively throughout the process. So that one took a while. There were quite a few ideas that were bounced around, and we were trying to mix in between the cartoon world and then also the void world. So we could have put it in black, but it seemed more appropriate to stay within the television realm and going with the technology aspect. That's why, like, we're sticking with the image, but there's a fade point where all of a sudden it starts to de-res. We have there's noise in there, there's television roll in it. So all of that was part of the creative process. So that was bounced back and forth a bit, for sure, but it was fun. Those are also one of the most challenging approaches that you can take when you're doing a show is if there is no concrete idea of what the end product is going to be, you really have to make sure that you're not creating by committee, because it can get really messy.
Yeah.
So the concept and the explanation behind it, again, part of my job was to deliver almost like a sales pitch as to the reasons why we should go in this route.
Right. Make it cohesive and
absolutely. That just helps define things and streamline things so that we're not creating right until right up until the end of, we're going to shoot tomorrow, or the show's going to air tomorrow. We still haven't got anything kind of scenarios.
What's the process in terms of your due date? Like, they shoot for 8 days, and then at what point do you have to deliver?
Yeah. How long do you have, I guess, is the question.
That depended, because often there were swapped episodes as well, which meant we were filming, but that episode didn't have to go out until the air date, which could be a few weeks down the road. But on occasion, they would swap episodes, which would mean that, okay, we can work on this show for the time being, but we're waiting for the plates to come in for the next show, which is going to be airing first. So the timeline squeezes.
Right.
So typically it was 8 days. It was kind of like the way that production was shooting. It was 8 days for concept work, and then it was 8 days for filming, and it flipped back and forth between those two.
Right.
So we pretty well knew our dates, but they would change on occasion. So typically we would have a couple of weeks, and that's part of structuring everything too, because if we've got a light episode, it allows us to dump more resources into the next episode because we can work on it longer.
Right.
I can pull the plates in. We can start working on that show way before it's due.
Right.
So it's really just distributing the manpower. Again, we only had 9 artists. Really, there was 3 3D artists, and then the rest, there was 6 compositors.
I was going to say, was there one thing that stood out to you as incredibly challenging? Was there one shot or one sequence in this that stood out beyond the others as more challenging?
That would be the guy stepping off the roof.
Why? We talked a little bit why you didn't like the velocity of it, but what about it made it more challenging from your end?
Okay, well, one, trying to match lighting when you're outside, then stepping onto a green screen stage and then getting the lighting to match again. We were lucky with our lighting department. They did a fantastic job, but there's always a bit of a disconnect. You can't really help it. You have a bit more control, I think, now than you did back then. So I had made the decision that we were going to try and shoot him on the day on the roof where he would be in position to be able to step off and be floating. So there's 2 plates. There's one where the camera is actually hanging off the edge of the building, looking back at the building that he's going to step out into the void. And then we had structured it so that that entire rig could be pulled back. So the camera would stay at the same angle, but this time we would be on top of the building where we had a little setup where he could actually step out. And that way his lighting was exact to what was shot on the day. Now we still ended up having to go onto green screen for that because there's some odd shots in there. There's one where he's on glass.
Right.
And he's standing and we're looking up at him. Those kind of shots, there was still some stage work that had to be done for that. But for the main part, that was the most challenging, I think, shot that we did. The rest was strictly creativity.
How do you keep green reflection out of glass?
As we're shooting up, there's no reflection because what's behind the camera looking up is actually black. So there's no reflection looking up at the glass, and in and behind him, we see the green through the glass. So I'm not really concerned in that case. Yeah.
So there's nothing to bounce off the glass. Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah, exactly. No real reflections to deal with there.
Really cool. Really cool, man.
It's fascinating to hear all that goes into it, from your point of view.
Yeah.
Well, it's fun, and it's the collaborative work that goes throughout it, the creative work. That's such a fun episode, again, because we were thrown so many things on that show. We really never knew
Yeah.
what was coming down the pipe.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we did the full animated episodes. We had dogs. We had the talking cat.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, that's right. The talking cat. Yeah.
as someone who was kind of weaned joining the industry on movies like Air Bud,
Yeah.
with, we have you got your talking dogs, you got your talking monkeys, you got your talking everything. It was kind of a bit of a throwback.
Sure.
And everybody got a kick out of it. And of course, it was Bob Singer who was the voice of who said dumbass.
Oh,
on the
really?
show.
Oh, I didn't
was
notice
Bob,
that.
yeah.
That's great.
That's awesome. That's great. Bob's in that. I think Bob makes a lot of cameos. Is what I get. Like his voice pops up. I know he's like the radio DJ here and the traffic cop.
He
there.
did one of the shots. There was a television running in the back, and it had a dung beetle that was kind of meandering along. And in the background, if you listen to it, this will be great for the fans. If you listen to it, you'll hear Bob say, "And the mighty dung beetle." He's in the back, and he's got this real
That's hilarious.
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, this is all great, Mark. It's really fun to hear you talk about it, because this is, especially in this episode, it makes you appreciate it all that much more.
Sure does.
Well, and this gives me a chance to reminisce as well. I can't believe 20 years.
Yeah.
I know.
Wow. Congratulations, everybody. I got to say. 20
high
years.
fives all around. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. It really does give me a chance to reminisce.
Yeah.
You get caught up in other thing and the other jobs we're on. And like I said, I have such fond memories of that entire time that I really enjoy these kind of conversations, because it really reminds me of what a good time we had.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was,
agreed.
it really was a special situation that we were all wrapped up in. I loved it.
It really was, Mark. It really was.
And it's fun to revisit it with people who remember it so clearly like you do. So thank you for bringing your insight and knowledge to our humble podcast.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Mark.
Again, I appreciate the chance to do it.
We'll do it again.
Yeah, we
down
hope
the
you
road.
come
Don't-
back.
don't-
We have much more to talk about.
Yeah, don't miss us too much.
I'm here whenever you need me.
Thanks,
buddy.
man.
Have a great holiday.
Thanks a lot. Take care, everybody. Enjoy your holidays.
Thanks, Mark.
You too.
Hey, this is Mark Shepard. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies just to see if you could save some cash? Well, Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states. What if I told you that 2026 is the year you launch your business? Maybe you've got an idea you just can't shake, or that hobby that everyone in your life is telling you to sell. Taking that first step and finally taking action can feel impossible. But with Shopify, all you need to turn your dreams into your new future is at your fingertips. Make 2026 the year you transform into the entrepreneur, founder, and boss you were meant to be. And the one powerful move to make it all happen is starting your business with Shopify. Shopify gives you everything you need to sell online and in person, giving you all the tools to easily build your dream store. Choose from hundreds of beautiful templates that you can customize to match your brand. And you can set up quickly with Shopify's built-in AI tools that will help you write product descriptions and headlines, as well as edit product photos. Millions of entrepreneurs have already made this leap, from household names like Gymshark and Mattel to first-time business owners just getting started. Marketing is built in too. You can create email and social campaigns within Shopify to reach customers wherever they are. And as you grow, Shopify grows with you. The same dashboard that you start with will evolve as your business does to handle more orders and expand to new markets. In 2026, stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/realm. Go to shopify.com/realm. That's shopify.com/realm. Hear your first this new year with Shopify by your side.
We're back. Thanks.
What a great guy.
Mark Meloche, just the best. And so upbeat and optimistic about such a challenging job.
Yeah.
You know, he had such a great attitude while doing it. And in hindsight, looking back on it, he does.
Well, and you also always appreciate people that, that remember things. You know what I mean? He remembers everything.
Dude, it is sharp as a tack.
Yeah,
like you and I, who could barely remember.
He was like, I didn't know.
He
was like, I didn't know we were talking about this episode. I thought it may be another one. And you're like, do you remember doing this? He's like, oh yeah, I'll never forget. It was a Tuesday. You know, he really has such a great memory.
I had chili quiles for breakfast.
Yeah, exactly. And so talented.
So talented.
Because the effects in the show were fantastic.
Nothing you were saying, it's all factual, Robert. You're saying nothing that would be considered made up or mythological, if you were. However, if we wanted to, we could just go right into a segment.
What?
Called Mythology.
Wow.
Mythology.
See, that's what you're good at what you do.
That's why I make the big bucks.
That was a real professional segue. Well, psychokinetic refers to a person or phenomenon associated with psychokinesis, the supposed ability to influence physical objects or energy using the mind alone without physical interaction.
Psychokinesis comes from the Greek word psyche, or meaning mind, and kinesis, which means movement.
A psychokinetic is believed to be able to move objects, bend metal, manipulate energy, or cause physical effects through mental focus or willpower. Richard.
Commonly associated abilities include telekinesis, generating force, affecting matter at a distance, or wallpaper.
Well, guys, since we're having fun, we might as well move into this next section that we like to call
Fun Facts! Fun Facts! Fun Facts! Fun Facts.
The title of the episode, here we go, is a reference to a naming convention used in Roadrunner cartoons where things are labeled with fake Latin species names. That's what that is. Yeah.
Just like the title and many references throughout the episode, Dean being captioned Hunterus Heroicus, right?
Yeah.
Hunterus Heroicus.
Yeah.
And Dr. Mahoney being labeled Dr. Mahoney filled with baloney. No, actually, it was grotescus villainous. Those are references to Roadrunner and Looney Tunes cartoons.
Well, here's my question. If in the episode he's labeled as Hunterus
Heroicus,
but the episode is called Hunteri Heroici.
Well, U.S., when you pluralize it in Latin, it becomes an I.
All right.
So it really should be Hunteri Heroici.
There he is. Look at just...
now we know it's Latin.
Welcome back. Welcome back, Rich.
I didn't know we were talking Latin. Now we're talking Latin. All right.
All right. Well, now we know what the title is in Latin. What's the Japanese title, Rich?
Well, dude, again, we have not done our homework in terms of being able to speak the language. So I'm seeing it here, but I do not dare try to pronounce this. But I can tell you, loosely translated into our native language, English, the Japanese title for this episode is The Happy Fun Boat That Kills You.
There you go. There you go. Very interesting. Gary Freeling, the first victim whose heart emerged from his chest, was named in reverence to Fritz Freeling, the director renowned for his work on numerous Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies cartoons. I can't believe I missed that, and you missed it too.
I did too.
I did, but you know that name, Fritz Freeling. I mean, that's my childhood.
Yep, saw it all. Chuck Jones and Fritz Freeling were the two names you saw all the time.
Yeah.
Dean jokingly calls the nursing home Termite Terrace, a nod to the nickname that Warner Brothers animators gave the old rundown studio where they created famous cartoons before it was torn down in the early 1940s.
Oh, wow. I missed that.
I wonder where that was. I wonder if it was on the lot.
I wonder. The psychokinetic in the episode is named Fred Jones. Fred Jones is also the name of the blonde-haired, orange ascot-wearing member of Mystery Inc. from Scooby-Doo. Fred.
I didn't know Fred's last name was Jones.
Yeah, Fred.
Did you?
Yeah, at one point.
The voice of the cat, as we already know from Mark Meloche, was provided by Bob Singer. The cat's name tag says Bob.
There you go. And this is writer Andrew Dabb's first solo Supernatural writing credit. Congratulations to Andrew. And little did young Andrew know he'd go on to become the showrunner of this very show, Supernatural.
Exactly. Foreshadowing.
Always great to see everybody. Great to see Mark Meloche. And great to see you, Richard.
Nice to see you, Robert.
So thanks, everybody. This was fun. And we're going to, I'm excited about the next episode. It starts with a really great shot.
Me too. Can't wait to see what the flashbacks bring us. What more are we going to learn in these flashbacks?
Well, more importantly, what is it that he will see in the real life that makes him have the flashback? That's my favorite.
A croissant sandwich.
That
I remember
reminds me.
one time she had a croissant and made a sandwich out of it. Look at that guy over there breathing. She breathed. She used to breathe air.
All right.
Next time, we'll see you then.
This episode of Supernatural features Jared Padalecki as Sam Winchester, Jensen Ackles as Dean Winchester, and Misha Collins as Castiel.
Guest stars include Mike Farrell, Leanne Balaban, Amanda Tapping, Catherine Lowe Hogwist, Maxine Miller, and Greg Webb.
Hunteri Heroici was written by Andrew Dabb, directed by Paul A. Edwards.
Editing by Nicole Baer. Music by Jay Gruska.
Assistant sound editor was Damon Cahoon.
Executive produced by Robert Singer and Jeremy Carver.
Supernatural was created by Eric Kripke.
The episode featured the following song, Ode to Joy, from Symphony No. 9 by Ludwig van Beethoven.
This episode originally aired on November 28th, 2012.
This episode of Supernatural Then and Now was hosted and executive produced by Richard Speight Jr. and Rob Benedict.
Produced by Stephen Hine, written by Stephen Hine and Haida Holscher.
And edited and associate produced by Trey Booty.
Happy holidays, Booty!
Music provided by Tim Wynn.
This episode was recorded with the help of Sonic Fuel Studios.
This podcast is from Story Mill Media.
Follow the podcast on Instagram and TikTok at SPN Then and Now. Become a member of the podcast to get early access, chat rooms with other podcast fans, and video interviews at patreon.com/SPN Then and Now. I don't know. And I want to go ahead and thank Trey Booty for the editing work he will have to do during that the shortest part of this show will be the most technically intensive for Trey ever, because that was a S show. Denim wrap. Everything we said in there. Super natural. Like it didn't do this show right. That's true. I had more than just a brain fart just now. I had like a Here's another fun fact. Just at the end of our interview, Richard texted me and Steve a picture of 6 gentlemen without shirts on that appear to be strippers, entertainers, dancers. Strippers, sure, whatever. Shirtless, but they do have bow ties around their neck. Yep. Well, I couldn't help but think that they were hot. No, cute. Yeah, nothing. Attractive. What? No, this doesn't go on the. No, this doesn't go on the podcast. It's just one of those days. I'm reading this along with you as you're saying it, and my brain read it as able to move objects, spin metal, manipulate energy, or cause physical effects through mental focus or wallpaper. Yeah. And my mind was going, why the hell does wallpaper have to do? Yeah. Why? You're tired. I mean, you've been. Look, I'm tired, and it's taken me a week to try to. I'm trying to get my energy back after this crazy fall we had, and you had one extra thing. You're not wrong. So Thank you for understanding, Robert. I do. Just this one time. The Hungarian title, by the way, is time for Animanicus, baloney in our puss. That is Animaniac is what it means. And that's like the show, Animaniacs. They're baloney in our slacks. That's not what you said.
Story Mill Media.
Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Please, we need help. People are dying out here. This is an emergency. What?
Hello.
Hey, Michael, it's Effie.
How's the shoot been? Caught anything good?
Lots of moose, fox, owls. We're packing up tonight, and we'll start the hike back to Allagash in the morning.
Looks like you'll have a bit of bad weather passing through Arstook County.
Is anyone here? Somebody help me! Open the door, please!
What are you? Hell yeah! You don't need to make this difficult. She's not. There's no heartbeat. When it calls you,
leave us alone!
The White Vault. Goshawk.
The Regency era. You might know it as the time when Bridgerton takes place, or the time when Jane Austen wrote her books. But the Regency era was also an explosive time of social change, sex scandals, and maybe the worst king in British history. And on the Vulgar History podcast, we're going to be looking at the balls, the gowns, and all the scandal of the Regency era. Vulgar History is a women's history podcast, and our Regency era series will be focusing on the most rebellious women of this time. That includes Jane Austen herself, who is maybe more radical than you might have thought. We'll also be talking about queer icons like Anne Lister, scientists like Mary Anning and Ada Lovelace, as well as other scandalous actresses, royal mistresses, rebellious princesses, and other lesser-known figures who made history happen in England in the Regency era. Listen to Vulgar History wherever you get podcasts.